Ever since I've tried on a pair of Sennheiser HD540s, I've fallen in love with their unique sound signature. I've tried searching for more information on them. However, information on these pair of headphones were widespread but scattered throughout the internet. Hence, I've created this guide which would help you choose the correct pair of headphones. The Sennheiser HD540s are bass-light compared to modern headphones, so bass heads, please steer clear to avoid disappointment. They are also very honest, which means minute nuances in the music will be very apparent. Therefore, high-quality recordings are to be used in order to fully appreciate the HD540s. Pictures and information in this guide come from various origins. I have included their respective links beneath the resources to avoid plagiarism. Let's have a general look into the HD540s. The HD540s consist of 5 main parts: the headband, the iconic microphone-like exterior shell, the driver unit, the foam pad, and the ear cushions. The picture on the right is a dissected photo of the driver assembly. The HD540s use neodymium magnets, aluminium moving coils, and acoustically open ear cushions. These factors contribute to the flat frequency response of these headphones. I have listed the specifications below, but I'd like to expand on the difference in frequency response. The reference was measured using an audio generator from 20 Hz to 20 kHz and a BNK artificial ear. The gold only briefly explains how the frequency response was measured. Hence, the details of how Sennheiser measured an extended high-frequency response is unknown. Production of the reference started in 1986. Production of the gold started in 1987. Both headphones were discontinued in 1991. Here you can see the presence of a 300 ohm mark, but no mark for the 600 ohm reference. Both drivers have their impedances marked inside the driver. The meaning of the 2-letter code is unknown as of this moment. Here you can see the difference between the gold and reference drivers. I'd like to expand on the gold drivers. From the gold manual, it describes the function of the white felt discs as being crucial to linear frequency response. There are 2 variants of ear cushions I can confirm: white fabric and black pleather. Information on the internet also suggests a velour ear cushion, which I presume is the ear cushion of the reference 2. The structure of the ear cushions consists of 2 foam circles and 1 silk strip. Early 600 ohm headphones had this type of headband, which in my opinion is structurally inferior to the later designed one, as shown here. The print on the reference and gold is identical except for the color and serial number. HD540s have a steel connecting cable. Early connectors are both black in color. There are 3 main types of headphone jacks, which 2 belong to the reference and 1 belonging to the gold. The early reference box shows a vertically straight HD540, whereas the late reference box has a leaning HD540. The later box also shows the red earphone connector and adds the Sennheiser logo. There are 2 versions of gold boxes in which one has brass corners and the other hasn't. The one without brass corners also appear to have trouts on the top and bottom sides of the box. There are two types of interiors. Early versions have grey velour interiors, whereas later versions have foam interiors. There are two types of gold certificates, one in English and one in German. So, the million-dollar question, should I buy 300 ohms or 600 ohms? I've compared the following combinations from my collection. The first was a reference 300 ohm with velour ear cushions, and it had stiff foam. The second one was a reference 600 ohm with white ear cushions, but it had soft foam. Lastly, I had a gold 300 ohm with black leather ear cushions, and it has stiff foam. From the tests, I can confirm that the 600 ohm reference has an attenuated high frequency response compared to the 300 ohm ones. The bass response is far superior in the 300 ohm ones due to the stiff foam. The details and silkiness of the music is better in the 600 ohms. I'd say that the 300 ohm ones are better overall headphones as they have a linear frequency response. But the 600 ohms suited my personal preference of vocals and classical music. If this guide has convinced you to go out and get a pair of HD540s, you might encounter a few problems. Broken drivers and headbands have no other option than to be replaced by parts from a donor unit. The air cushions on the headband are permanently deflated unless one unsews the headband and adds filler, which I cannot recommend doing. The foam might need replacing, which can be done by simple sewing as shown. I used linen in my repairs as it was available and it has close properties to the original white fabric. Modern Sennheiser connectors are too large for the HD540s. This can be alleviated by removing the hard shells of modern connectors and using heat shrink instead. These headphones are almost 30 to 40 years old. They're bound to requiring some love and care. Please spend some time on repairs and refurbishment to bring them to their former glory. The joy of good music is equal to the effort put in. I also strongly advise against paying exorbitant prices for these headphones, as the very nature of vintage hi-fi is to obtain reasonably good results with a limited budget. Paying so much takes away the fun of buying vintage, and you would probably be better off buying a pair of HD800s instead. I hope this guide has been helpful to you. Happy listening!